Hello, I'm Dr. Sha-Rhonda Green. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have been practicing social work and therapy since 2004. And welcome back to my channel. I want to share with you today about a crucial topic. Sometimes it's overlooked. It is the intersection of boundaries and self-care. If you've been following me, you know that I'm passionate about helping Black women prioritize their well-being and their emotional health. So let's dive in. I want to cover three areas. One, understanding the connection between boundaries and self care. Two, self care strategies for boundary maintenance. And three, boundary setting as an act of self care and self love. Self care. So, the basics self care is an intentional act of taking care of your physical health, your emotional, mental, and spiritual well being. It's about recognizing your own needs and taking very proactive steps to meet them. But here's the thing self care is not just about getting your massages or taking long baths. It's also about how you set healthy boundaries with others, as well as protecting your time, energy, and emotional well being. You're creating space in your life for self care and relaxation and intentionality and focusing on yourself. So think about it. When you say yes to everyone else's request, you're saying no to yourself. You're sacrificing your own needs and desires for the sake of others. You're what we call people pleasing, and that is a trauma response. Like when you have learned how to prioritize other people's needs above your own, it was your way of coping with the things that you were experiencing, the traumatic events that you were experiencing. So you learned how to take care of others so that you could cope with the discomforts of the things that you were experiencing and the confusion of your life. But what happens when you keep doing this over time? Burnout, depletion, numbness. You just don't care anymore. You stop caring. You stop caring about yourself. You start caring about yourself in a way that your hygiene becomes an issue. You stop caring about it in a way that you may start overeating. You may start doom scrolling on social media. There's all different types of ways that you may find yourself exiting from your life in a very like kind passive and silent way. You become resentful. You just begin to lose touch with what your wants, needs, and desires are. So let's make a conscious effort to prioritize our own self-care. When we set healthy boundaries with others, we can create space that we can relax, that we can rejuvenate, that we can sleep, that we can rest, that we can have leisure, and that we can love on ourselves. So, what are some strategies for maintaining boundaries for boundary maintenance? Now, boundary maintenance. So, here are the self care strategies for that. Mindfulness and meditation. So, mindfulness, like meditation and deep breathing, can help you stay like present and focused in the moment. It can also reduce your stress and anxiety and allows you to set healthier boundaries. And what that might look like is when we kind of chase ahead to the future and thinking about what's going to happen, and we're like, oh gosh, we start catastrophizing, or we have like all or nothing, or we start trying to read other people's mind. We start having these like cognitive distortions, these negative kind of thought patterns around making us not be in the present. And so when you recognize it and having a counter thought, right? Like being present in your moment. And so to do that, some mindfulness is, okay, where am I at? Where are my feet at? Where are my toes at? Where are my elbows? Where are my ankles? Where's my clavicle? It's coming to focus back on your body and thinking and coming to yourself. What do I need? It is okay. Doing some deep breathing through your nose, some sensory integration. What do I see? What do I feel? What do I see? What do I taste? Like all of those types of things. Oh, what do I need? I might need some water. So staying focused in the present can help to reduce your stress and anxiety and just continue to make it yourself a priority and decide how you want to move forward and for you to set healthy boundaries. Journaling and reflection is another way that we can have strategies to maintain our boundaries. It can help you process your emotions and identify patterns, for you to have critical thinking, help you to clarify your needs and desires, and it makes it easier to communicate them to others. As you practice with yourself, you become more adept at practicing with others, right? Like you get to say what your boundaries and your needs are. Uh, Another way is physical activity and exercise. So, regular physical activity can reduce your stress, improve your mood, and increase your energy levels. It can help you feel more confident and empowered. It makes it also easier to help to set boundaries. So, there might be a particular type of movement that you enjoy. There might be stretching, there might be lunging, there might be yoga, there might be Pilates. It might be riding your bicycle. It might be walking through the park. It might just be just kind of sitting and doing some chair yoga. There's laughter yoga. There's cross stitching. There's puzzles. There's all kind of things that you can do that allows you to move. There's dancing. There's different types of dancing. There's a lot of genres of dancing. Depending on what your physical mobility issues are or sensory issues are, it's about finding something that works for your body, that you get to pay attention to your body. Because when we do physical exercise and movement, our bodies are always trying to regulate, especially when we have intense emotions. The emotion is meant to be experienced and moved out and through our body. So when we're having movement, that allows our body to help to regulate as well. Another way is creative expressions and hobbies. Engaging in activities like art, music, or writing can help you express and process your emotions. They can provide some healthy distractions from stressful situations, and you can feel more fulfilled. And I know for Black women, because we have been told that our image, our body, our time, our movement, our rest, and our sleep has been policed to the point that if we're sitting still, we hear the echoes of like, oh gosh, we hear these tropes about being lazy. And that is deeply rooted in racism and like, oh, what is my body supposed to be doing in service to other people? And so when we think about creative expressions and hobbies, like what is that? When you're always working, you work 40, 60, 80 hours a week and you're taking care of everybody else. What does that mean? And how hobbies and creativity a lot of times have been associated with being lazy, with being unproductive, because those are capitalistic and racist messages of what Black women are supposed to be doing with their body, talent, resources, and gifts. And so once we start practicing and setting boundaries, our creativity, our energy comes back to us. There might be something that you enjoyed doing when you were a little girl, or thought about doing, and you were shamed about that. If you like playing with trucks or cars or whatever it is, or just sitting still and coloring, because of the trauma and terror that was around you, you could not do that. If you were doing something that was not chaotic, and sometimes your being would be questioned. That also may be happening in your workplace, in your church, in whatever community setting is, when you're just like kind of minding your business, enjoying your time, enjoying how you look in a fragrance and in whatever how you decide to creatively express yourself. Sometimes those things, a lot of times, are policed. But when you have healthy boundaries, when you take care of yourself, when you prioritize yourself, then those things are going to help you to soothe yourself and find more other ways that you decide to be creative, and other things that you decide to try, and you start trusting yourself. So prioritizing sleep and rest, they're two different things. So sleep and rest are essential for your boundaries. When you are rested, you're more focused, you're more energized, and you're more able to communicate your needs like more clearly. Grind culture and no team, no sleep, and I'll sleep when I die. Those types of narratives are heavily layered with misogynoir and layered with oppression of Black women's bodies. So when you decide to rest, when you decide to rest and just leisure and just sit still, when you decide to sleep, that's like 7 to 9 hours for adults. I believe it's 7 to 9 hours of sleep, like of quality, restful sleep. When you're thinking about how you protect your sleep environment, your sleep hygiene, what are you eating? What are you doing 2 hours before you go to bed? Are you scrolling? Are you on electronics? What does your sleep environment look like? Do you have your favorite PJs? Is it cool? What's the temperature? What's the texture of the clothes that you're wearing? The texture of the sheets and the blankets that you're using, the lighting, your room. Like, is it a place that you feel excited about going to sleep in? So these things are really important as you're prioritizing your sleep and rest. And given the history of slavery, given the history of how bodies have been worked to breaking bones, to bodies being torn apart for the sake of work and the sake of production, it is your inheritance that's what I believe. It is your inheritance to sleep, to rest, to restore, to replenish, to rejuvenate, so that you can have creativity, so that you can continue to prioritize yourself, so that you can take care of yourself and love on yourself. It's not a one size that fits all. It's not that. But just experiment with different approaches, different strategies to find out what works best for you. And sometimes that changes over time. If you have other obligations,